What's going on, everybody? Ronnie DiMaggio here, product specialist at BMW of Morristown. And in today's video, we are doing a walk around and overview with this beautiful 2023 BMW X5M Competition. So we did already do an X5M on our channel a long time ago. It was one of our first videos before we had our microphones and our new camera. So we figured we would revisit the X5M with a couple months of experience doing videos on YouTube so we could present it better to you guys who may be interested in the X5M or who are just interested in learning about the X5M, give you a nice high quality video on what is, in my opinion, one of the most compelling cars in the current BMW lineup. And we'll go over all that stuff, why I personally love the X5M so much in this video. We'll go over all the exterior styling, the powertrain, what's going on under the hood, and of course we'll hop inside. But let's start out with the powertrain. Being an M car, the engine is a pretty important thing to talk about. So the X5M is powered by the same 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8 engine that you'll find in the M5. It's called the S63. In competition trim, it makes 617 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. The S63 has been in use for a good while now. It actually debuted in the original X5M. The E70, I believe, was the generation code for that car back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. So it's been around for a while. It's gone through many revisions. There have been many technical updates, so it has been refined quite a bit and massaged all the way up to 617 horsepower. Really powerful engine, really potent, torquey. It's a very kind of meaty power band. Great engine to drive, great engine to look at. As you saw under the hood, it looks really nice and it sounds really good. We'll get to an exhaust clip a little bit later, but 617 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque in the X5M, paired exclusively to an 8-speed automatic. Obviously, you can't get a manual in the X5M, never could, never will be able to probably. So, but this 8-speed is, of course, the ZF unit. It's the M Steptronic automatic that rattles off shifts super quick with your drive logic adjustment. So great transmission, great engine. Let's talk a little bit about styling. So taking a look at the front of the X5M, I will make a bit of a bold statement here and say that I do think this might be the best looking current model in the BMW lineup. It is so aggressive looking, but also so classy. It's striking, it's angry, it's elegant all at the same time. It's really an impressive design, one of BMW's best. Obviously, this car is finished in Donington Grey Metallic, popular color on the X5M and the M8 cars like that, for good reason. Looks super nice. You have the M double slack kidney grille, of course, with your X5M badge here in the top right. You have your BMW laser lights, which are standard on the X5M, and as is becoming signature with M cars. You have these really nice honeycomb vents down on the left and right sides of the bumper, as well as in the lower center of the porch and hiding some auxiliary cooling for various performance enhancing, cooling adjustments. So lots of openings in the bumper, obviously being an M car with a big V8. There's a lot of cooling that has to happen. The engine ingests a lot of air, obviously, but it also needs to kind of be hit by a lot of air and all of its different radiators to help keep it cool when you are thrashing it around like it's meant to be. So really good looking front end on the X5M. Let's come around to the side a little bit here, where we can take a look at another really impressively attractive feature of the X5M. Those are these wheels. So 21-inch wheels with a 295/35 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tire up front. It's a 315/30/22 in the back. Really good looking wheel setup and a really wide and kind of aggressive tire setup too. You can see this one has the blue painted brake calipers, and it also has your cross-drilled semi-floating rotor design as well. Again, typical of all M cars, they have that floating rotor design to help dissipate heat, and those really nice looking 6-piston front brake calipers. Another element that's specific to the X5M is this little side gill trimmed in gloss black with your X5M badge on it. Looks really nice, adds a little bit of extra flair to the side of the X5M, specifically something you won't see in a regular X5. You have bespoke side skirts for the X5M. Obviously, you have a tiny bit, not necessarily, it's definitely not like a wide body like an M3 would be, but a little bit of a fender flare, which looks really nice. And you can take a look at that back wheel. with a really wide 315 tire. With all-wheel drive, obviously this car's all-wheel drive only. You will never be wanting for traction in the X5M with all-wheel drive and some really wide pod Sport 4Ss. Coming around to the back of the car, again, beautiful, really good-looking rear end. Starting from top to bottom, you have a nice X5M specific roof spoiler, trimmed in body color, Donington Grey, and then you have a second kind of black little extra bit to the spoiler here on the sides. Standard X5 taillights, nothing special going on there, but that's pretty much the only part of this rear end that is standard looking for the X5 model lineup. You have a super aggressive black diffuser there, which is of course hiding your twin exhaust tips, quad exhaust outlets. Again, M's signature design element there. Looks really nice and sounds as good as it looks, so go ahead and take a listen. So as you heard, the X5M sounds really good. Sounds a lot like an M5, of course. Same engine and probably a similar exhaust system. Sounds really, really nice. That was in the kind of full sport mode for the engine. So really good sounding exhaust to match, but is a really good look. So now that you've seen the whole X5M's exterior, hopefully you'll maybe kind of see where I'm coming from when I say all of those positive things about its design. Really aggressive, really kind of muscular and sturdy looking with its stance and its wide tires. And then all of the extra components that are added to the design of the X5M specifically to make it stand apart from a regular X5, the diffuser, the side skirts, the bumpers, the exhaust tips, the spoiler, all that stuff just kind of adds to the appeal with the X5M. So one of the most compelling cars from a aesthetics perspective. And then you have the performance, 617 horsepower, the practicality of an SUV. You'll see this awesome interior. So that's kind of where I'm coming from when I say one of my favorite cars in the current lineup. But let's keep talking about it. We'll start by going into the trunk and we'll check out the rear seat to analyze some of the practicality elements. All right, so around back of the X5M, nothing really special here. This is pretty standard stuff for the X5. Obviously you have your split folding hatch tailgate, which all X5s have, but cargo space will match a standard X5. If you're familiar with the current X5, this cargo area will look nice and familiar to you. You do have a spare tire hiding underneath there, but if you want the storage space, you could pop that out and use that for storage. You do also have your retractable cargo cover here. Obviously you have stuff that you don't want to be visible from the outside of the car. You can cover up your cargo, and then that's pretty much it for the trunk. So let's go ahead and close that up. Obviously it's fully automatic electronic, so let's take a look at the back seat space. So the X5M, being an SUV, is almost always going to be used as an everyday car, so it's important to understand how usable it is in terms of practicality. Big part of that is rear seat space. Obviously this back seat is actually moved way further back than where I would sit, and I can still have plenty of room back here at about 5'9", 5'10", plenty of knee room, plenty of foot room, and I can put my head all the way up and I won't hit the roof. So plenty of space back here. You also have heated rear seats. You have a 12-volt power outlet, a fold down center armrest. So good space in the back there, and also good amenities for your rear seat passengers. The X5M is kind of the ultimate daily driver, ultimate family car, and that practicality sort of adds to that. You have a really spacious cargo area and a plenty spacious rear seat for 3 adults or kids. Obviously you have car seat hookups back there, so really practical all around for daily use. So that's going to do it for the outside as well as the practicality. Let's go ahead and hop up front. All right, so here we are inside of the 2023 X5M. Now, we've gone over X5s, even the X5M before, so we won't go crazy in depth on the general interior. Let's just talk about what is specific to the X5M. We'll start with the ergonomics. One thing that is X5M specific are these seats. To me, they look and feel like the same seats as the M5, but I can't confirm that with a part number for you. But if you sat in an M5 seat, these seats will feel very familiar to you, which is a great thing. Super comfortable, nice and aggressive shoulder support, good thigh support, and of course your adjustable side bolsters as well, so you can kind of go as tight or as comfortable as you would like with the bolsters. Extendable thigh support, which is electronic, of course. This particular car also has massaging front seats, which is really nice. Sort of speaks to the X5M's duality and purpose. So it is an angry, aggressive kind of, I wouldn't call it a sports car, obviously it's too heavy, big SUV, but it can be angry, aggressive, and fun when you want it, and then you can click on your massaging seats, put the exhaust in comfort, and just kind of cruise along. So it does the luxury car thing just as well as it does the sports car. Also specific to the X5M, of course, are the M1 and M2 buttons on the steering wheel. These are configurable, so you can change your drive modes in the center display here, and then save whatever configuration you like to your 2 customizable modes here. If you're not pressing one of these buttons, if neither are pressed, you're just in all comfort mode by default. You have your paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel here. Speaking of the steering wheel, one of my favorite steering wheels that BMW's ever done. This is just kind of the corporate G chassis M and M Sport steering wheel. Looks really nice, and with the M cars, you get the tricolor stitching on the inside of the rim, which looks beautiful. This particular X5, while we're kind of looking at the interior, is trimmed in Adelaide gray. That's the name of this color. That is specific to the X5M. Can't get that on any other X5 model, and it looks really nice. Kind of a slate gray, almost like a cement color. Looks really cool, especially paired to Donington Grey on the outside. And of course, it has the carbon fiber trim with your really cool X5M badge down here near the cup holders, and then some black, not quite diamond stitch, kind of hexagonal stitched leather throughout the interior, which looks really nice. You have your black Alcantara headliner, which is the perfect place for Alcantara. I personally don't like the way Alcantara feels to touch, but I like the way it looks. So the best place to put it is somewhere where you won't touch it, like the headliner. So smart choice there. Obviously, this car also has the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which sounds incredible. Harman Kardon is standard on X5Ms, but you can upgrade to this Bowers & Wilkins, which sounds really, really impressive. You have heated and ventilated seats. You have heated and cooled cup holders. So all these features just kind of speak to the luxury aspect of the X5M. And this car stickers at about $125,000. So this car is really well equipped for an X5M. You have the massaging seats, you have Bowers & Wilkins, you have the heated and cooled cup holders, all that good stuff. Obviously the competition package. So lots to like about the interior of this specific X5M. Some things that are not specific to the X5M, but the X5 in general, are just the proportions of this interior, which I think are really nice. This center console is relatively wide, so it makes the car feel like it has a lot of space in the interior, because the driver and the front passenger are a little bit further apart than they would be in an X3 or a sedan or something like that. So a nice roomy feeling interior. And then the X5M just kind of takes that to the next level with the really nice stitching on the dashboard and the carbon fiber accents, these really sporty, kind of cool looking seats. So everything just kind of gets ticked up a notch from an already really strong interior in the X5. The X5M takes it to the next level and becomes a really, really special interior, really nice place to be. Some M specific stuff, but not X5M specific stuff. You'll see this shifter in most modern M cars, as well as the M mode setup and exhaust button. Of course, you have the same suite of M customization with your setup menu here. And if you want to go into car, you can click on M menu. You can configure M1 buttons. You have your road and sport mode for your heads-up display, as well as your gauge cluster. All that standard M stuff comes over to the X5M as well, with your drive logic selection on the shifter. All the good stuff that you would expect from an M car makes its way into the X5M as well. So overall, really, really nice place to be here. You have great comfort, great luxury features, massaging seats, ventilated seats, heated and cooled cup holders, Bowers & Wilkins sound. You have really good sporty stuff. You have your M1 and M2 buttons, these really cool seats. You have the carbon fiber, the X5M badge, all the M specific stuff. And then, of course, you have the technology that you would expect from a BMW fully digital gauge cluster, iDrive 7. This is the last year, I believe, of this current generation X5. So the next X5, the LCI version of this car, is coming for 24. That'll come with iDrive 8. But for now, iDrive 7 works perfectly well in the X5M here, and so does the digital gauge cluster. So overall, awesome place to be. I love the interior of the X5M just as much as I love everything else about the car, but that's going to do it for the inside. Let's go ahead, hop outside, and we'll wrap up. All right, so that's going to do it for this walk around and overview of the 2023 X5M. Hopefully I did a good job of explaining to you guys why I think the X5M is so compelling. You have a 617 horsepower twin turbo V8. You have all-wheel drive for snow and all-weather performance, obviously not on these summer tires, but with some Soto Zeros or Blizzaks. You have a winter beast. You have one of the best looking BMWs currently in production, probably in my opinion the best looking BMW currently in production. Some stiff competition there, but a very good looking car nonetheless. And you have all the tech, all the comfort, all the luxury that you would want. Massaging seats, heated cooled cup holders, all that good stuff. So really compelling offering here in the 23 X5M. Hopefully you guys enjoyed checking out the X5M as much as we enjoyed sharing it with you. Please go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at BMW of Morristown. Please like the video if you liked it and subscribe to the channel if you think we deserved it. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.